All right, so after a long weekend of watching all of you get your updates, I finally got my update for 2020.48.26. So finally got the what is turning out to be extremely underwhelming software update. What's interesting is that because this software update was so hyped, that it's turning out to be very disappointing. And the reason is most of the updates, some of the bigger items, didn't turn out to show up in this update. And Elon Musk had stated that they were behind. So I'm sure this is due to COVID. Had Elon Musk not talked up this update so much, I think that we would have just been like, oh, great, new updates. And we probably all would have enjoyed them. But unfortunately, since it was so hype and we didn't deliver everything that was expected, it turned out to be a dud for a lot of people. Now, let's take a look at what we get in this update, because not all of us are going to get the same things, and I'll explain that later. So it says release notes now include improved browsing and access, new visualizations, has been refreshed, autopilot set speed, autopilot ability, and detected speed limit are now displayed next to the driving speed. Additionally, select items have been slightly moved, but will continue to look and behave the same. Scheduled departure can now precondition your battery and cabin when your car is unplugged. So this is great news. To account for different utility rate plans, you can now set the time when you're off peak rates. That's pretty cool. For those of you who have different electricity rates, that'll be a nice improvement. Supercharger display improvements on your touchscreen now display the number of available stalls, so you can quickly see. This will actually be nice because rather than having to tap on each of the superchargers that you're looking at, it'll now just have a number apparently. So we'll take a look at that as well. And then the T has been removed. Okay. There's so many people upset about this T. Okay. Let's take a look at everything now. Okay, so one of the things you're probably noticing that we're missing in ours that hopefully many of you have is the Boombox. So apparently our car doesn't have the speaker, and I guess I'm not surprised. We have a very, very early Tesla Model Y. We are a VIN number under 3,000. We were delivered before the shutdown. So if you are one of the early VINs, apparently you're not going to have that speaker. So you cannot drive up around unsuspecting pedestrians and make the car fart, which is extremely disappointing, because that's probably what I was looking forward to the most. However, one of the cool things I saw today is you can actually download MP3 files onto your flash drive, and you can make the car play other sounds that you want to download. Like I saw somebody with a bunch of Star Wars sounds. So the Imperial March is happening while you're pulling into your destination. And as silly as that sounds, that would be so much fun for me. But anyways, I have whatever updates were added. Basically, everything that I'm seeing is just on how the visualizations are on the car. So let's go into a little bit more depth and take a look at the new layout for the screen. All right, so obviously the first thing that you see is now we've got this really fancy looking display of the car, which is kind of cool. And if I open the window, apparently, oh, that's kind of cool. I don't know if you could see that, but it definitely opened the window at the same time. That's pretty neat. Kind of silly, but cool, I guess. And the wheels do look a little shiny from a distance, but they're not. They're black. It's just a reflection in the model. So everything else is pretty much the same. It's kind of nice that there's a easier way to lock it, or more obvious way to lock the car, I should say. It used to be up here. Well, looks like it's still up there. We no longer have a color to our battery, and that's okay, but a little less obvious, I think. Kind of more streamlined look overall, I guess. Everything over here is basically the same. Down here, everything's a little bit different, which is kind of cool. Kind of a fresher look, I guess. But if you do have the speaker, this is where you're going to get it. You're going to go into the toy box, and then one of these will say Boombox, and then that's where you can activate these sounds on the outside, which is kind of fun. So We unfortunately do not have that. So I think what we need to do is go ahead and take a quick little drive and see how some of these visualizations are different while driving. All right, we can see our gears are now over here, as well as our lights. That information has moved. Of course, our regen braking is limited because it's cold, but this is warm for us in December, which is really depressing. But anyways, let's go ahead and put it in reverse and see. All right, so this is really interesting. This whole side of the screen, there's a lot of blank space, and this has been pushed out. It's not quite half the screen, but it is every bit of a third of the screen is now taken up by this, which is interesting. That's kind of cool. You can see the wheels moving. Yeah, I'm not so sure what I think about that. That is a lot of real estate lost on your navigation screen. So kind of sitting back here, this is about where I'm sitting. You can see that's not so great. I'm not so crazy about that. I wish I could just like slide it over, but I can't. So your regen and acceleration up here is a lot slimmer too. That's another thing I'm not so sure I like. That is really small and makes it very difficult to tell your braking. I'm not so sure I like that. Now I will say, like when you're in autopilot, I feel like this information that you're seeing, you're getting a lot more there, so that's good. It's very obvious the car in the lane, but that's about it. There's not much else to really like about losing that much of your navigation screen. I don't know, maybe that's just my opinion. Let me know in the comments what you think about that. And then again, as I let off the accelerator, you can barely tell looking on your screen my regen up there. It's so small. I'm not too crazy about that. Here we go. Let's go ahead and now it knows the speed limit on this road, so that's good. Okay. Let's see if it does anything different now to tell you to, hey, grab the wheel. Nope, still nothing. Well, that's really no different. Let's take a look and see if now it'll tell us. Okay, there you go. So once you're actually driving, now you can easily see how many people are at the supercharger. That I really like a lot. That's a cool update. It already knows that information, so now it's just displaying it as part of the bubble there, which is cool. So that's nice. The only thing I can think of is that since full self-driving is getting very close to launching across the board, maybe all this extra real estate for the screen is necessary for all of the information it's trying to show you. So maybe that's actually going to be helpful if you do indeed have full self-driving. I guess we'll just have to wait and see as some of the full self-driving beta testers start posting more videos with this new update. Oh my God, can you believe it? I'm driving a Tesla through a car wash. Oh my gosh. Some of you are gonna be so disappointed. So one of the cool things, I guess, is if you keep information up here like your efficiency and stuff, the washer, the windshield wipers are now down here, which is kind of nice. I like that. When you do go through the car wash, you want to turn those off, obviously. All right, time to get on the highway and take a look at how things are operating. So, nothing really new here, although it looks like it's doing a better job of picking up all the lanes, which is kind of nice. So it can tell that there's 3 lanes, which indeed there are 3 lanes. Yeah, by the way, this is what it looks like in Indiana in the wintertime, all winter long, which is why Key West was so nice. Okay, so nothing real crazy happening here right now. I'm going to do a lane change. Yep, pretty much the same stuff going on here. Yep, looks the same there as well. Yep, nothing really new. If you do road trips quite often, this update, I know I keep talking about it, but I really like this. That supercharger has 10 stalls open. So if you're planning on like rolling through and you're like, man, maybe we should stop, you don't even have to think anymore. You can just take a look and, hey, that's a full supercharging station. We're not stopping. Or, hey, that one has nobody. Maybe it's worth going ahead and stopping. So you don't even have to click on anything. It's just right there in front of you. Really like that. I want to see another thing. One of the things that released earlier that does not work well at all is if you press, there you go. So by pressing the speed limit that's displayed, it'll select that. Now if I select the speed I'm going, it'll make your autopilot speed that. So if I accelerate a little bit, like up to 75, and then I press my current speed, now my autopilot speed matches. And then again, pressing the speed limit will drop it, whatever. So yeah, seems to be working a lot better than that update when they released that capability. So that's enough. That actually seems to have been improved, so that's good. I just wanted to show you guys something about Indiana as well. It is 48 degrees, which is a balmy day in Indiana in wintertime, which is the perfect time to get your motorcycle or your bike on the sidewalk, apparently. But what better time than now to get that out, because it's 48 degrees. It's like a heat wave. So yeah, nothing really drastically different other than the layout of the screen. A little bit cleaner visualization of the car. It's kind of cool. You can see the wheels spinning. That's kind of neat. You almost saw that. There they are. There's a car in the lane over behind us. And if we look over, yeah, he's back there. So these systems continue to get better, which is nice. And this visualization is a lot cleaner. It just takes up so much of the screen, and it really cuts into over here. So if I select a destination, it doesn't really change the screen at all. So yeah. All right. So there's my wheels turning, which is kind of cool, I guess. Let's go ahead and get this thing parked. Apparently there's trash cans in front of me. There's everything. I wonder. Yeah, that's kind of cool that it's animated like that. Let's see. Oh, yep. The infamous 7-passenger forward-facing seats back there. Close that trunk. Pretty neat. Turning the wheels. This is definitely a cool part of this update. I think that some of the visualizations are a little bit nicer, a little bit cleaner. That screen is so much taken up. All right, so the last thing that we have is in the entertainment is your games. So solitaire, I don't know. I don't play any of these games. I don't play games in the car, but here they are in case you wanted to know what all is in there now. There's quite a bit, which if you're at a supercharger and you have nothing to do, I suppose you could play a game for a little bit, or you could let the kids play a game if they're incredibly bored. Maybe that would help pass the time for them. So theater looks like the same in here. So, well, I'm super bummed that I don't have the speaker, not because I think it's the coolest update ever, but because I just wanted to show you guys some fun stuff with it. It'd be fun to add some of our own sounds to it and roll up on people, make the car fart, and have fun with that. But unfortunately, we won't be able to do that here. But if you do have it, try to enjoy it a little bit. Have some fun with it. If you got kids, make the car fart next to the sidewalk with a bunch of people. Just see how they react. Our kids still laugh when I make one of the two back there fart in the car. So silly stuff like that. But there you have it. There's not much else to really show or talk about with this. Again, if Elon Musk hadn't hyped it so much, I don't think people would have been as disappointed or underwhelmed, at least with the rollout of this update. So I'm hoping that come, the first couple of weeks of 2021, hopefully they get the rest of these things ironed out. I can only imagine the amount of work it takes to fine tune all of these updates and get them just right. I'm sure that is the problem. And with COVID, it's hard to get a lot of things done efficiently. So I totally get it. Hopefully in the next few weeks, we will see the rest of the updates, since it is quote unquote fire, according to Elon Musk. So we will see when those roll out and what can be added to this. But for this update, that's kind of what you're going to get. So minor updates, minor tweaks, some things have been added. No different than most standard updates, just some nicer visualizations and some updates to the car. So there you have it. If you haven't already, of course, subscribe to the channel. You can always follow us on Twitter and Instagram @BeardedTesla. Thanks so much for joining us, and we'll catch you next time.